Madhya Lila, Chapter 15. All of you, just behold the super excellent potency of Lord Gaurachandra. He is so difficult to be attained in meditation, even by exalted personalities like Lord Shiva, Shukadev Goswami, Devarshi Narada. Yet we see him mingling freely with people who do not even possess any devotional qualities. Lord Vishvambar is always performing his supramundane pastimes in Navadweep out of his causeless mercy, but no one can perceive them. Just as the inmates of the ocean, the fishes, can never perceive the moon, but only the reflection of its rays. Similarly, although Lord Gaurachandra manifests his pastimes openly, the common people could not perceive the super-excellent elements in them. Jagai and Madhai were now completely transformed persons by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. They were very devoted, examples of pillars of piety. Before sunrise, they completed their bathing in the Ganga and sat down to chant 200,000 times the name of Krishna daily. They always condemned themselves for their lowly position out of humility, and with tears in their eyes they incessantly chanted Krishna's holy name. Now that they have tasted the marvelous nectar of the holy name and of devotional service, they can perceive this material existence and see that everything is inherently a part and parcel of Krishna. When memories of their older sinful ways plagued them, they fell almost unconscious to the ground, repentant and weeping. They cried out, "O most merciful Lord Chaitanya, the Savior of the fallen souls," and remembering the Lord's mercy again and again, they shed tears of joy. The happiness they experienced in Krishna's service made them forget even about eating, and each time the two of them thought of the mercy shown to them by Lord Chaitanya, they wept uncontrollably. Lord Chaitanya and the other devotees were always being very kind to them, giving them inspiration and hope. The Lord came himself to feed them, but still they could not feel peace deep inside. Madhai especially felt greatly afflicted each time he remembered how heinously he had struck Lord Nityananda. Although Lord Nityananda had forgiven him, Madhai was far from feeling exhilarated. He said, "I have hurt Nityananda Prabhu, drawing blood from him. In his body resides Lord Chaitanya, and I am so sinful that I struck such a personality." Saying this, Madhai punished himself. Madhai was unable to contain his feelings at such memories, and day and night he cried. Nothing else came to his mind. Lord Nityananda roamed about in Nadia, always in the mood of a child, laughing and carefree. He was very easy to please and always happy, and he was totally free from any sense of false prestige. One day, Madhai found Lord Nityananda all alone. He threw himself down and embraced his lotus feet. Tears of love for the Lord washed his feet, and with complete humility, he prayed to Lord Nityananda. "O Lord, as Vishnu, you maintain this universe, and as Anantashesh, you hold the cosmic manifestation on your hood. You are the embodiment of devotional service. Lord Shankar and Parvati Devi constantly meditate upon you. Devotional service to the Lord is exclusively your property, and it is your prerogative to grant anyone the eligibility to be situated on the platform of devotional service. No one is more dear to Lord Chaitanya than you. By your grace, the mighty Garuda participates in Lord Krishna's pastimes as the Lord's carrier. You are constantly chanting the glories of Krishna with your unlimited mouths, propounding and explaining the process of devotional service as the highest human occupation. Devarshi Narada experiences incalculable bliss chanting your glories. Your only and most treasured possession is Lord Chaitanya. You are famous as the one who forced the Jamuna to change her course and flow according to your desires. King Janak received transcendental knowledge by serving you. You embody the essence of all scriptures, being the original person, and the primeval supreme personality as declared by the Vedas. You are the divine father of every living entity, the greatest mystic. You are Lakshman, the valorous prince. You are the vanquisher of demoniac and atheistic forces, the supreme enjoyer of all mellows, and the foremost spiritual guide. You are well conversant with all of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Mahamaya, your external potency, has become worshipable by the entire universe just because she has served you. The whole cosmic manifestation seeks the shelter of the shade of your lotus feet. You are fully devoted to Lord Chaitanya, and so you are the most proficient propagator of the path of devotional service. You are the sum total of all the potencies of Lord Chaitanya. You expand yourself as Lord Chaitanya's bed, throne, resting place, umbrella. You are his very life and soul. As Balaram, you are matchless in your service to Krishna, and as Nityananda, you are foremost of Lord Chaitanya's associates, as well as the origin of all incarnations of Lord Chaitanya. You are always delivering the fallen and annihilating the atheists. You are the protector of the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord and the propounder of the true religion, the process of pure devotional service to the Lord. By your grace, Lord Brahma creates this universe. You are always worshipped by your energies, Revati Devi and Varuna Devi and Kanta Devi. The Rudra incarnation was produced out of your anger. Through him, you bring about the annihilation of this cosmic creation. Rudra was born out of Lord Sankarshan's face, and he dissolves the universe with the great fire called Kalanala. You seem to be doing everything, yet you are not the doer. O Lord, the whole cosmic manifestation is resting on your bosom. Your body is very soft and gives Krishna great pleasure when you expand yourself as his bed, and he lies on you. But I am so monstrous and sinful that I hurt this same transcendental body of yours. Who is more wretched than I am? Your transcendental form is constantly worshipped by Lord Shiva, accompanied by his beautiful consort Parvati and other young maidens. Simply by remembering your form, one is freed from all bondage, and this same spiritual body was bleeding due to my misdeeds. Chitraketu, the famous emperor, was living happily by worshipping you, and was counted amongst the foremost Vaishnava devotees. That same form that is worshipped by the entire universe was brutally hit by me, the lowest of sinners. The sages of Naimisharanya forest, headed by sage Saunaka, became freed from all material entanglement by meditating upon your form. In expansion as Lakshmi, you were wounded by Indrajit, son of Ravana, in battle, and for this you slew him. Similarly, the gorilla demon Dravida also met with a premature death at your hands because he was harassing you. The mighty Jarasandha was also vanquished by you for being inimical to you. I am so foolish that I did not understand what is beneficial to me, and so I inflicted pain upon your transcendental form. I did not know then the consequences of such an act, for when Rukmi, Krishna's brother-in-law, insulted you, you took his life. Romaharshan Sutta was blessed with a long life by the sages of Naimisharanya, but when he failed to accord to you your due respect, then you came and slew him with a blade of grass. King Duryodhana and the entire dynasty was almost exterminated for disregarding your words. They were spared by good luck because of the presence of elevated devotees like Kunti Devi, Bhishma, Yudhisthira, Vidura, and Arjun, who interviewed, supplicating you with appropriate words. When one's very life is at stake just by a little disrespectful attitude towards you, then to what depths of depravity and hell must I enter for my heinous act? Speaking like this, Madhai started experiencing love of Godhead. He fell to the ground, clutching the Lord's lotus feet to his bosom. Madhai continued to pray. The shelter of your lotus feet can save anyone from the endless cycle of rebirth. You have appeared simply to deliver the most fallen. So, my dear Lord, kindly protect this fallen soul surrendered to you, for you are my life, soul, and most treasured goal. All glory to Lord Nityananda, the darling son of Padmavati Devi. You are the most precious jewel of all the Vaishnava devotees. You are completely free from any ill will, always submerged in the highest state of blissfulness. You are always inclined to forgive those who are surrendered to you. I am the most atrocious beast and offender, so kindly forgive me, Lord, for all my offenses. Lord Nityananda smiled, hearing the loving supplications offered to him, and said, Get up, arise, O Madhai, you are my servitor. I now reside within your body. Is the father disturbed if his little child hits him? I have accepted your beating in this parental mood. What is more important is that anyone who hears your wonderful and devotional prayers to me will certainly develop loving attachment to my lotus feet. You are the recipient of my Lord's mercy. Therefore you are free from all blame. Whoever worships my Lord Chaitanya becomes most dear to me, and I offer him my protection eternally. If anyone disregards Lord Chaitanya but offers me worship and sings my glories, he gives me only pain. He then embraced Madhai and took away all his misery. Madhai again fell at Lord Nityananda's feet and said, I have one other prayer, my Lord. You are situated in everyone's heart, and I have inflicted severe violence on many such living entities. I do not even know to whom and to how many souls I have inflicted pain. If I could recognize them, then I would beg forgiveness from them. But in this situation, I am deprived of their blessings and forgiveness. O Lord, if you are pleased with me, then advise me how I can get out of this dilemma. Lord Nityananda replied, Listen to my advice, Madhai. Construct a bathing place on the Ganga so the residents of Nadia can take a bath without difficulty and fondly think of you for this convenience. This is also a service to Ganga Devi, who dissolves everyone's sins with her pure waters. What better blessings can you ask for? Stand at the bathing place and beg for forgiveness from every bather, praying to them for their blessings. In this way, you can exonerate yourself of all offenses. Madhai took to heart Lord Nityananda's advice. After circumambulating him several times with utmost love and respect, he left. Chanting Krishna's holy name, while tears of love of God streamed down his face, he began to construct alone a proper bathing place on the bank of the Ganga. The people saw this sight with great wonder. Madhai offered prostrated obeisances to everyone who came to the site and begged them, saying, Please forgive all the offenses I have committed knowingly or unknowingly against you, and think of me graciously. The people were happy beyond words and remembered Lord Govinda, seeing Madhai's humility and his devotional mood. He shed tears of love for the Lord while he worked. The word went around, Nimai Pandit has marvelously converted Jagai and Madhai into good and pious men. The people greeted the news with sheer astonishment and commented, Nimai Pandit is not an ordinary mortal. Evil men ridicule and criticize Nimai Pandit without knowing him. Nimai Pandit is always actually engaged in performing kirtan and is truly a real devotee of Krishna. Whosoever ridicules or denigrates him will certainly meet his doom. Anyone who could transform the character and mentality of these two is surely the Supreme Lord himself, or at least especially empowered by him. Nimai Pandit is certainly an extraordinary personality, and now the extent of his power has become widely known. The people of Nadia discussed amongst themselves in this manner, and they avoided the company of men who continued their criticism. Madhai was leading a very austere life and became known as a brahmachari, following strictly the vow of celibacy and restraint. He was always in sight of Ganga Devi, living on her bank, and worked very hard with the spade constructing the bathing place. This wonderful pastime of Jagai and Madhai's deliverance was monumentalized for posterity by this bathing place. These narrations of the Madhya khanda become nectarine because they describe Lord Chaitanya's munificence in delivering these two fallen wretches. Whoever is envious of the fact that Lord Chaitanya is the origin of everyone will be destroyed. The extraordinary activities of Lord Chaitanya are the hidden treasure of the Vedas, so hear these narrations attentively and with proper faith. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, humbly offer this song at their lotus feet.